My respects to the Buddhas of past, Buddhas of future and Buddhas of the present. Life is flux. Life is happiness. Every moment you are presented with a new opportunity, with a new experience. One should know that it is a gift from God. Each moment is a great gift from God. Heraclitus says, you can't step into the same river twice. The previous water is gone, but somehow mind keeps on thinking that world is same, it is prejudiced, and it also thinks that I can explore the truths about God. Everything can be explored with mind. When the mind is impure, how can you do it? As it is, thy mind has only the knowledge. With knowledge, the knowing will not happen, the present will not happen. With the residue of the past, you will not be able to experience the present. With the projection to the future, fears and phobias for the future, imaginations about the future, you can't experience the present totally. Diogenes says, the mind is like a teaspoon. You can't empty the ocean with a teaspoon. It is so huge. So, mind is absolutely, it is not the tool to explore the reality as it is. The mind, unless it becomes totally pure, it becomes a no mind, you will not be able to know anything about the truth, yourself or God. Knowing yourself is the ultimate. Unless you know, you do not know yourself, the subject is unknown, the subject conditions are unknown. How do you assess an object? Everything is colored, everything is prejudiced, biased. What you see is not the truth. Continuously, the mind is operating through sensory organs. All the sensory organs like eyes, like ears, nose, tongue, skin, they are going out. They are in their chase, but they are not complete. They are not total. Continuously, when you are so much involved in the outer, what will happen to you? You just see. You get contaminated. That is why Bhagavad Gita, it is said, all your worries are because of your extra contemplation on the sensory world. You get attachment to desire, everything is happening. Unless we rectify the whole mental apparatus, it is not possible to know the truth. It is so much contaminated, and we are never knowing our reality. We are not knowing our own center. There is a great saying in Urdu, खुद को कर दे बुलंद इतना, हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा खुद से पूछे, बता तुम्हारा रजा क्या है. But we are partial in our whole approach, then how do you meet it? We do not know our own solitude, we are with dreams, we are with continuous thoughts. So, how do you attain the reality? The truth is impossible. The truth can never be attained, experienced without being your center. As long as you are in the periphery, you are nowhere near yourself. All are only reflections. We have imitated enough, we have thought so much about the imaginations, all the cravings, all the raga, dvesha, ignorance is embedded in our own system. The whole mind is contaminated. Unless we are coming out of it, how do you come to that conclusion? You should be having that skill in action. Yogas chitta vritti nirodha. Unless you remove the mental impurities, defilements, you cannot be yourself. We know that we are the body and mind complex. But when the mind is not able to know itself, when you do not know your own body, how do you know yourself? We are with just falsity. The false self is thought to be the real self. The real is different. The psychological memory continuously haunts us. The factual memory is okay, but psychological memory will never allow you to be yourself. Every day we are thinking about, already you have a prejudice, your opinions are fixed, you have beliefs, your nothing is to that moment of here and now. That moment of here and now is possible only when you are completely, your mind is clean, you understand the reality of your own body and mind complex. After all, what is this body? Body, what we call as me, that I, is a sum up of body and mind. And what is this body? We know only our conscious area of our body. When we know only what we can see, but there are many areas which are operating at your unconscious level, at the deeper level, the internally there are so many parts inside your body, you do not have any control over them. So, what is the body we know? And the body we know is very, very minutest part. It is the gross part we know. The internal things also we do not know. But intellectually, if you know about your own body, nothing was going to change. Intellectually, scientists know about their body, know about a body. They are not enlightened, they are not liberated, but a mystic who knows the truth about his own body, the mystic, the rishi who is knowing about his own mind, one, he is knowing himself. Knowing thyself is the ultimate in spirituality. So, what is after all this body what we have? It is said, whatever is appearing as a continuous matter, the physical matter, the physical appearance, is it a material only, or is there something non-physical? After all, body is subtle mind. Mind is, gross mind is the body and subtle body is the mind. So, it is part of the same complex. So, body what we know as material is in fact the gross energy, and the mind is the subtle matter. So, the matter and energy are forming into one reality, matter and energy. Now, you see the matter is made up of so many kalapas, each cell, undivided particle of the body is called kalapa. What we call as this body is group of systems, and each system is a group of muscles, and each muscle is a group of organ, and each organ is group of tissues, and each tissue is group of cells, and each cell is undivided particle of kalapas are there. Is it a wavelet or a particle? Now we know every material is a wave, a particle, but if you know this truth intellectually, nothing is going to happen. But after all, when you know the reality of your body and the reality of our own mind, this is in fact the meditation. Meditation is to decondition our mind, reprogram our mind. A mind, it is absolutely so much of conditioning has taken place, and the mind, the knowledge, everything is hampering to understand knowing thyself. Knowing thyself will happen through only meditation. Meditation to look into that impermanence, that anitya. That is why Krishna says, Matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkadaha agam payano anityaha tam stitikshasva. Agam payano anityaha. All things are only anitya, anitya. It is all impermanence. It is only purely vibrations. It is arising and passing away. There is an impermanent phenomena in your mind. There is an impermanent phenomena in the process of even the mind too, the body too. Everything is, but it appears as tentative. It appears, the body appears as if it is a gross body, looks as if it is going to be permanent. Nothing is permanent, but if we know scientifically, intellectually, it is not going to do anything to ourselves. But when you know that your own body experientially, if you know it, then lot of changes will take place inside you. When you are looking at any light, we think that it is the same light of one moment back, but actually the moment, this moment, the light is different from the previous moment. Few electrons have passed, and now the next moment few more electrons have passed. So, every moment the electricity is just flow of electrons. So, it is, if it is the same bulb, you do not need to pay to the government any electricity charges. We are paying, but it appears that it is the same bulb. It is not the same bulb. Lot of electrons, new electrons have passed, lot of material, new material is formed, lot of new waves are coming in, everything is new. But if you know this, nothing is going to happen. If you are sitting in front of the river, and the river, it appears to be the same Krishna or same Ganges a moment back. Actually, the water that has passed previous moment is different from the water that is passing now at this particular moment. But we believe, we firmly believe that it is the same Ganges or same Krishna. It is a different water altogether. If you are, whatever, everything is changing, even a person or a body or a thing is also changing. But if you know intellectually, nothing is to change, but there is a system called Vipassana or meditation techniques. There Buddha has taught wonderful techniques, many techniques. Shiva has talked about 112 sutras. Krishna has told lot of technique, Upanishads, everything, Zen, Tao, everything has talked about so many meditation techniques. Jesus, he has experimented with lot of meditation techniques. So, this meditation techniques, how you can enter into that silence, that peace, that tranquility, absolute silence and absolute tranquility of that no mind, that is important. The impermanence, matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkadaha, the cold or heat, pleasure or displeasure, happiness or unhappiness, everything is impermanent. Agam payano, they are continuously fleeting. Anityaha, that is impermanent. Actually, Krishna has talked about the same concept of agam payano anityaha. Everything is impermanent. People have understood, started worshipping, but they have not followed what Krishna has talked. Ultimately, what is important? So, all the mystics, all the masters, they have talked about only meditation, only about the mind, the purification of the mind. The mind, because it is going out through the sensory organs, all the knowledge organs, all the sensory organs, they are going out and they are getting contaminated. All our anger, irritation, jealousy, everything is because of this. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he says, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsa Sangaste Shupajayet Sangat Samjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodho Abhijayate Krodhot Bhavati Sammoha Sammohat Smriti Pramshat Buddhinasha Buddhinashat Pranashyati. Ultimately, it is resulting into ruin. Why? When you are attaching to anything of outside, it is resulting into ruin. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsa. When you are extra contemplating, it is bringing in attachment. Sangaste Shubhajayate, attachment. Sangat Samjayate Kamaha, then desire will start. Kamat Krodho Abhijayate, then anger. Krodhot Bhavati Sammoha, loss of balance. Sammohat Smriti Pramshat, loss of memory. Buddhinashat Pranashyati, ultimate ruin. So, whether it is Buddha, whether it is Krishna, whether it is Shiva, whether it is Jesus, solitude, the silence of the mind, sit in that silence, seek that tranquility and gain that innocence is all that is important. So, the reality of the body and the reality of the mind. Now, the body is made up of billions and billions of kalapas, but if you intellectually know, will you get enlightened? Impossible, because all the scientists know that body, all the material is made up of particles, and each particle are wavelets, waves according to the quantum mechanics. It is only the same, it is vibration. Everything is arising and passing away, but even Einstein is not enlightened. Intellectually, if you know, nothing is going to happen, but a rishi, a mystic, a practitioner of meditation will get enlightened, because he will know that this is impermanent. The process of becoming is absolutely nothing to be attached. It is nothing to be attached. It is just a flow. When you are meditating, you will realize that this body, whatever is forming and deforming, it does not exist at all. You will understand that I am only a process of arising and passing away. Agam payano anityaha. Krishna says agam payano anityaha, and Jesus says, I shall cast fire and everything is burning, arising and passing away, everything is impermanent. Then what is that you need to attach? We are attaching, all our emotions are because we are attached with impermanency. We are seeking permanency, we are thinking this body is permanent, but so many religious people have told that this body is impermanent. Will anything happen? Nothing is going to happen. Even he is measurable. The person who has told you is measurable. He is also having anger. He is also having jealousy, because he has not done his meditation. Meditation will relieve you in the attachment. That is why Bhagavan, the God does not mean anything. God means Bhagga Rago, Bhagga Doso, Bhagga Mohoti, Bhagava. There is no raga, there is no dvesha, there is no moha. If these three are not there, there is no ignorance, there is no craving, there is no aversion. Ultimately, he is called Bhagavan. Mahavira said there is no God, but now he is called as Bhagavan Mahavir. Buddha said there is no God, and now we say Buddha Bhagwan. Tao says there is no God. So, what is important in all the religions is to transform, to become pure, to become innocent, to become that pure mind, to become that no mind. We will see, go into the depths of, we will know ourselves, knowing thyself. Jesus says knowing thyself, Buddha says knowing thyself, Ramana says knowing thyself. Self-inquiry, self-discovery, everybody, Krishna says knowing thyself, Shiva says knowing thyself, but instead of doing what they told us, aren't we going wrong? We are going wrong, and this is the area we will have to concentrate. Every religion knows that everybody will teach only rituals, morals, ethics, values, but nobody follows. That is why we will have to rechange everything, and unless we rechange, transform, only information does not help in any way. Even you know all the scriptures by heart, it is zero value. It is zero value. If you know about meditation totally, zero value. If you have written books on meditation, zero value. If you are a guru also, zero value. Only by practicing, then you become a holistic personality, you become wholesome, you become pure, you become efficient, you become powerful, you become healthy, happy, harmonious individual. So, let us change to that level, and let all the souls be happy, and let us transform and go towards the enlightenment. Thank you. God bless you.